We are back. Episode number 11 of the Fullcourt Report.
Got a good one.
How you guys doing?
Doing good.
How are you doing, Jorie?
I'm hanging in there. But let's just get right into it. So, the NBA, they announced the 2021 NBA All-Star Reserves on Tuesday, per usual. After that, there's a discussion about who is the biggest snubs. De'Aaron Fox didn't make it. Trae Young. Initially, Domantas Sabonis of the Indiana Pacers didn't make it. But, we'll get into that. But just to go over each conference and their reserves, James Harden in the Eastern Conference, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. And since Kevin Durant is going to be out with, his hamstring injury through the All-Star break, Tatum will be starting in place of Kevin Durant in the All-Star game. I'm pretty sure it's just because Durant is also a forward, or Tatum is also a forward, so they just moved him up a spot. Katie is going to remain the captain, though, for the team. And Sabonis is going to replace Tatum as a reserve in the game. Ben Simmons, Julius Randle, Zach LaVine, those two, Randle and LaVine, making their first All-Star appearance, and then Nikola Vucevic of the Orlando Magic. And then out west, you got Damian Lillard, Donovan Mitchell, Paul George, Anthony Davis, but Devin Booker is going to be the injury replacement for Anthony Davis, as he's going to be out with an injury still. Rudy Gobert, Chris Paul, and Zion Williamson. So, there's a lot of injuries. So, a few of the snubs initially are actually all-stars. But if you had to, give your opinion, who's the biggest snub this season?
I guess I'll go first. I think it's Trae Young. I thought he was a lock. Not to be a starter, but thought for sure he would have been an all-star. I think he should have made it over Zach LaVine, honestly.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, Zach LaVine's the only guard in the East, unless you count Ben Simmons.
Yeah, I
I
think
mean, in the reserves?
Yeah,
Harden.
the reserves.
Jaylen
Harden?
Brown.
Wait, what?
Harden.
James Harden.
James Harden.
Oh. Okay, no, never mind. But yeah, he should have made it over Zach LaVine, I think.
I agree. No, Trae Young definitely should be in the All-Star game this year. As much hate and like shit talking I've done to that, like he is probably, easily top 10 offensive players in the NBA. And also like the fact that he's carrying them to success, they're probably going to make the playoffs. I think he was the best snub this year for sure. Also, shout out to my man Gordon Hayward. He should be an all-star too. I don't care what anybody says.
Initially, I was going to say it was Sabonis because, so despite trading away Victor Oladipo in the James Harden trade, that big whole deal, they just essentially lost a 20-point per game scorer in Oladipo. And they got Karis LeVert, obviously, but he hasn't played because he's dealing with those health issues.
He still has played?
Yeah, he's still out.
He's probably out for they were saying this maybe the season.
Definitely, yeah.
Wow.
The fact that the Pacers basically gave up, essentially their third best player, a guy that could score 20 points per game, and they're still, still afloat is pretty remarkable. And you have to credit that to either Malcolm Brogdon or Sabonis. But, I mean, Sabonis, he's averaging 21.5 points per game. He's leading the team in rebounds, and he's third in assists. He also would have been the first player in NBA history to average 20, 10, and 5 and not be an all-star. But because of the injuries, he got in there. So
he easily would have been the biggest snub had he not.
But actual snubs, two players I said, are Chris Middleton. He's just, I don't think he gets enough respect as the number 2 guy in Milwaukee.
I feel like you say
averaging-
that every episode.
He just doesn't. I mean, he's like, yeah,
He's not a number 2 guy.
he's better than a lot of number 2s. He is, because he's averaging 21 a game, 6 rebounds, a career high 5.7 assists, and he's shooting 50, 40, 90 on the season. You know, the Bucks are one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference. I don't understand why the Celtics are not even in the playoffs at the moment. They have 2 All-Stars. One of them is a starter, but teams like, you know, the Bucks. I mean, I guess the Nets, they have multiple All-Stars, but like all the top teams, why do the Bucks not get 2 All-Stars, but someone like the Celtics do? I don't get that. It's stupid.
Yeah. All right. When you put it like that, I kind of have to slightly agree.
Sixers
Well,
do,
well,
the Jazz,
they
the Nets, but the Bucks don't for whatever reason.
the Sixers. I think Chris Middleton should have made it over
The
Ben
Clippers,
Simmons, but all those other guys are all better than Chris Middleton. Like
mm,
Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are both better.
maybe. Yeah, I mean, they probably are, but
Both
like,
guys from LA are better.
well, we're talking Eastern Conference. I don't know. I think he's underappreciated in what you know.
The stats are definitely there. Like the way the 50, 40, 90.
He's like the
Best-
most efficient second option you could possibly have. Outside
Yeah,
of like Paul George, like literally he's the most efficient player at that number 2. Like,
And when it comes to late game, like he might just be the guy that has to shoot the shot, just because of Giannis's lack of.
and I feel like he's learning how to play with Giannis. I was watching their game against the Clippers earlier. They're learning how to play together like a lot better. Like Giannis is becoming more of a big man finally. He's utilizing his freakish athleticism and his just freakish nature as a player.
When I hear like some of these snubs, Middleton definitely isn't a guy that I hear a lot.
You
know what I mean?
Deserving.
yeah.
But
I mean, I wouldn't be one of those guys saying he was snubbed. I would have been like, yeah, that guy.
I gotta
wasn't even
agree
thinking
with
about that
Jorie.
guy. Nah. I think Trae Young is a bigger snub than Chris Middleton is.
I don't know. He's
I
also
think Trae
playing
Young might be
alongside
the biggest.
he's playing alongside a 2-time MVP. That's like taking away
Yeah, I guess.
impact, and the fact that he's still doing what he's doing is pretty crazy.
Do you think
And
a
he's
team?
a way better defender than Trae Young will ever be.
Do you think
Trae
a
Young might be a better
team
defender than him.
with? Do you think a team with Chris Middleton as the number 1 option would be better than the Hawks are doing right now?
I mean, it depends on the rest of the roster. It's like hard to
Okay,
say.
if you replace Trae Young with Middleton, just completely replace them. I think the Bucks are going to be better.
And the Hawks are going to be worse.
If you swap the two,
Yeah,
you literally
completely,
swap.
like literally
the
swap
Bucks
them.
are just a better team. They have Giannis. Like what? Obviously, they're gonna be a better team.
No, I'm
And
talking about
Jordan.
like better than they are with Middleton.
I don't know. Trae Young literally doesn't play defense.
It's
Yeah.
a whole defensive squad though. Like he doesn't have to. I feel like if he was on the Bucks.
They're that good defensively because of Middleton. Like Giannis is a defensive player of the year,
Yeah.
but Middleton is literally up there,
Yeah,
Okay, but
one of the best defenders.
they
I
also
don't
have
know.
Drew Holiday. They have
Their whole team.
Brooke Lopez is solid. No cap.
Another, I mean, I don't. We don't have to spend the whole time talking about Chris Middleton. Another player that I saw was snubbed was Mike Conley, and while he's not averaging like crazy numbers, I think that when you're the best team in the NBA, you deserve multiple All Stars. You know, they have Mitchell and Rudy Gobert, but like Mike Conley is essentially averaging the same thing, or averaging the same numbers as Chris Paul. And Chris Paul was like a shoe-in to be the All-Star this season, like regardless of what happened with the Suns. And Mike Conley is, you know, not having a career year, but again, he's on the best team in the league. And I mean, I don't know what else. He's the fact that he's never made an All-Star game is literally insane.
Yeah, that's crazy. He should have made it back when he was on the Grizzlies back in like 2012, 2013. He was
That's-
having didn't they weren't they like a 1 seed one year?
The Grizzlies, I think they might have
They were
been.
like a top 2, I think.
I remember they made it like deep into the playoffs. They played the Warriors in the conference finals, right?
He's really one of the
I'm not
most
too sure about that
underrated.
one.
But anyway, I remember they used to be really nice. He should have had an MVP or not an MVP, an All-Star back then. But I think I think De'Aaron Fox should have made it over Mike Conley. I don't think you can give
I don't
a
know.
guy who comes off the bench an All-Star spot.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. If that's true.
What you mean?
What?
Mike
Giving
Conley
it to
Because-
De'Aaron Fox over Mike Conley?
Okay,
Conley's
well,
a starter.
just when Jorie was talking about Mike Conley
and De'Aaron Fox
and like
plays
how the
on one of
Jazz
the
are
worst
the
teams in the
best
league.
team in the league.
Okay, yeah, but you can't. If De'Aaron Fox outperforms Mike Conley and actually
Because he's
starts,
like not a third option like Mike Conley is.
yeah, well, is Mike Conley even the third option on?
No, he's not. Okay,
Putting up 16
Yeah,
points a game.
I wanted
Exactly.
to. I want to say this.
4 rebounds.
Mike Conley, I've always liked him. I always thought he deserved to be an All-Star. But this year, I think in terms of the Jazz, we got to give a little more consideration to Jordan Clarkson
Yeah,
As an all-star?
yeah.
over Conley.
Wow.
I think Clarkson is having a bigger impact on that team.
No, I think Spencer just told Jory to talk about Mike Conley all episode. I think that's all it is.
I don't.
No, he is nice. I've been impressed with him. No cap.
No, you're insane.
But dude, Jordan Clarkson is doing. Jordan Clarkson is different. Like he's gonna probably win Sixth Man of the Year if he doesn't. I'm
that
pissed.
doesn't mean he's an all-star. Has Lou Will ever been an all-star? Has Jamal Crawford ever been an all-star? Like just
Have
'cause
we
they're
ever talked
putting
about how they were snubbed?
No,
Snubbed.
We
we
previous
haven't. We
years?
literally have never done that. But
I
when we're
mean,
starting
you
point
maybe
guard on the
haven't,
best,
'cause
one of the
you
best.
got to put a
teams
little
in the
more
league.
respect on these kind of players.
If somebody's on the bench, you can't give them an all-star. What are we talking about?
Why not though? Like,
Because there's no way they could be outperforming other
Because he just
starters.
Bro,
One dimensional.
some bench
Literally
players have
comes
more.
in and has one job. Like that's
Who?
his whole role is to just
Mike
score. That's
Conley.
literally all he
Yeah,
does.
I mean, I guess.
Are you talking about Jordan Clarkson?
Or yeah. Jordan
But
Clarkson.
he's the best in the league at his job.
Okay, and there's an award for that. There's literally an award for that. So
Okay,
he's
but-
gonna win that.
I'm not saying he deserves. Okay, I'm not saying he deserves to be an All-Star. But I'm just saying if we're talking about the Jazz, I think he would have a closer shot than Mike Conley.
Yeah, I have to agree.
That's
I even give Joe Ingles. I'd even give it to Joe Ingles.
you're
Conley.
really disrespecting Mike Conley. That's great.
Nah, we're not even disrespecting him, Jory. Like he's averaging 16 a game and he's coming off
Okay.
the bench. Like
He's not coming off the bench. What are you saying? He's literally
He's
a
Mike
starter.
Conley is not starting.
He's
you-
starting.
You on
He's
crack?
starting most games at least.
What?
Who would start over him?
Wait, they started
the
him
team?
at point guard and
Yes.
not Donovan Mitchell?
Yes. Donovan Mitchell.
He's literally started every game he's played this season. What are you talking about?
Wow.
What are you saying? He's a starting.
Well, I don't know. Nah, forget about that guy, Mike Conley. He didn't deserve an all-star.
Oh my gosh.
Christian Wood deserves to be an All-Star.
No.
I don't
No.
care. Yes, he
Hasn't played.
does. Like he
Played like
simply does.
15 games.
I think he's played more than that.
Barely.
I actually don't know how many games he played total, but stat wise, he's low key a snub. He's low key a snub.
I don't know. I think now you're just talking out your ass.
Me? Are you?
Well,
Are we serious?
Let's keep it pushing. Last episode, you two started your NBA All-Star mock drafts, where you
Mhm.
assumed the roles of the captains LeBron James and Kevin Durant, and selected your starting lineups. So Justin, Team LeBron, you took Giannis, Jokic, Steph Curry, and Luka Doncic. Toby, Team Durant, took Embiid, Kawhi, Kyrie, and Bradley Beal. So we can continue our mock draft essentially and compare and contrast the rosters when it's all said and done. So I believe since Toby, you had the last pick, Justin, you have the first pick of the reserves. So if you have the list,
like
in
the-
front of
Wait,
you-
nah, I get the first pick though, don't I?
No, because I picked first. I was LeBron. I was the leading vote getter, so I get both first picks.
just go.
All right. Well, I am going with James Harden. I gotta steal him. I gotta steal him from Toby. I gotta steal him from his boy, Kevin Durant. And he's a great playmaker. He goes along with the rest of the team. Keep that ball moving. We want it to be an exciting game for the All-Star. We want to keep the fans satisfied.
That's tough.
We want it to be exciting.
Is Damian Lillard a starter?
Nope.
Well, that's who I'm going with. Dame Dollar, baby.
Dame Lillard, James
Best
Harden,
point guard in the West.
probably the two best reserves.
Best point guard in the West.
Nah, I'm capping. I got no cap. I got to look at
No.
the list. though.
Wait, no, I agree with you. He's better than Curry. He should have been a starter over Curry.
Should have been a starter
It's-
over Luca.
Yeah.
Yeah, that.
But Justin,
Um.
now you're up again.
You know, I think I might have to pick Devin Booker.
Wow. You might have to.
I don't know.
explain that one.
I think at this point, I think I might as well just go with the best on the board. Go with Devin Booker.
How's that the best on the board though? Are
I
you
think-
serious?
I think he's the best player on the board.
Okay. Cool.
All right.
It's a lot of good players on this list. I'm gonna have to go with my boy Paul George. That is the best player left on the board. Paul George, low-key should have been a starter, but we're not gonna talk about that.
Damn. So you have Paul George and Dame on your team. How is that going to work? Those two
It
don't
just-
like each other.
It's just gonna work. I mean, I also have Kawhi, so they don't have to talk to each other. It's all good.
Well then, I didn't think he'd still be on the board, but let's go with Donovan Mitchell, or not Donovan Mitchell, not Donovan Mitchell, Jaylen Brown.
Jaylen Brown. So you
Jaylen
picked
Brown?
Harden, Jaylen Brown, and Booker.
Well, you took 3 shooting guards.
Nice.
Essentially.
Hey man, I got a plan. Don't you worry about it.
Okay.
How many more picks do I have, Jorie?
4, I think.
Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect.
Well, you messed up. All right. Because no cap, I got the best big man in the league. His name is Nikola Vucevic.
Not even the best Nikola.
Okay, he's like the 4th best big man, but I don't care. He's a bucket.
Okay.
Wow.
Sabonis.
Saboner.
Saboner.
Yes, sir. I should have picked him. I don't know what I was thinking. So you picked Sabonis, huh? Well, this is the All-Star game. We're trying to make things exciting. I'm gonna pick my boy Zion Williamson.
I knew it. I had a feeling.
See, I was gonna go for Zion because I'm LeBron. I might as well pick like the guy who's next up,
Nah.
my prodigy, basically.
Nah.
Well then, if I can't have Zion, then I'll go with my other mini me, Ben Simmons.
Ooh, that was not the right move.
I think it was because
Best defender in the league. Nice pick.
one gives us some great defense, some of the greatest defense in the league, and playmaking, baby. This ball is going to be moving.
But you got too many playmakers.
There's no such thing.
You picked 4 off the bench, and 4 out of your 5 starters are playmakers. But
You worry about your trash ass team, Toby.
Okay.
Your team sucks.
All right, Toby.
okay,
You're up.
so you want to pick a defender, huh?
Yeah,
I'll
what do you
match
got?
that. I'll pick what, in my opinion, the defensive player of the year. I gotta go with Rudy Gobert. Hate the guy's guts.
Oh my god. Why?
Best choice.
So this is my last pick, huh?
I don't want to get into it. At least not right now.
This is my last pick.
Yes.
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, you got 2 more. You got 2 more.
Do I have 2 more?
Yeah, I think you have 2 more actually.
No way. I can't believe you left them.
Who?
I'll take. I don't know. Actually, I don't know.
I know who you're trying to choose.
You know what? No. Forget that.
conference players, there's 2
I'll let
left.
Toby decide that pick. I'll leave that for later. I'm gonna take my fellow Banana Boat crew member, baby, Chris Paul, CP3.
Wow. That's who you chose?
Yeah, because I didn't
Another
know who to pick for the
playmaker?
other pick.
Okay, another facilitator. Cool. Me? I'm gonna continue with the excitement here, and I'm gonna pick.
See, this is. I think you're having the same problem I'm having, Toby. I think you're having the same problem I'm having.
I'm going with Zach LaVine.
Who are you debating between?
Him and Tatum.
Tatum's the starter though.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah.
He's gonna
Okay,
be starter.
I'm cool with Zach LaVine then, anyways.
Oh, and then well, okay, that's perfect. Then I'll take Donovan Mitchell.
Wow, you didn't take Randall. You're not a true Knicks fan. You're
Yeah,
not a true Knicks fan.
left Randall for the last pick, but
Wow.
I don't think you have any power forwards or centers on your bench.
Yeah, huh?
It's a bonus.
Bonus.
Ben Simmons is a
Pretty much a point guard,
point
but
forward.
I guess, hey, that'll leave me with Julius Randle. Best thing the Knicks have seen in years.
You know what? I'll make a trade for you if you want to do Donovan Mitchell for Julius Randle.
Nah, I'm cool with Julius Randle. I'm cool with that.
Making trades. So that's it. That's your rosters.
Yeah, I think
My team
so.
is way better.
So Justin, you ended up with LeBron, Giannis, Jokic, Curry, Doncic as your starting lineup, and then off the bench, Harden, Devin Booker, Jaylen Brown, Sabonis, Ben Simmons, CP3, and Donovan Mitchell. Toby, you have Durant or Tatum technically,
Mhm.
Embiid, Kawhi, Irving, Beal. Off the bench, Damian Lillard, Paul George, Vucevic, Zion, Gobert, Zach LaVine, and Julius Randle.
Nobody is beating that team, dude. Not even Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson and
I
every other
honestly
best
think
player.
Team LeBron is winning this. If this is a
Yeah.
critical matchup,
Why?
because Harden is probably the best reserve, just period. If we're being honest, just out of all of the reserves, I think Chris Paul's got the veteran experience as an all-star. You could throw him in down the stretch. If it's a close game, he's going to get the job done.
Yeah.
Hell no.
And then Devin Booker, Jaylen Brown can just score, like probably better than any of the players you picked, other than maybe Dame,
Yeah.
off the bench at least. So I don't know, man. It's looking slow.
I mean, the one thing, Toby does have big men. I don't got no big men on my team. I literally have
Giannis.
Jokic as my one center, as the one guy who would be listed as a center.
Yeah.
Tough.
Well,
That's tough.
it is what it is.
I got
There was
Clampers on
only-
my team though.
There was only a total of like
I'm kind of curious to see. how-
5 guys listed as center in the whole All-Star thing. So
curious to see how accurate these rosters are. I wonder if this is how
Ooh,
it's gonna
yeah,
play
that'll
out.
be.
I feel like players have low key biases when it comes to choosing other players.
Yeah, not even low key, high key.
High key, yeah.
There's no way they'll ever put Damon Paul George on the same team. There's no way they'd ever do it.
Like when Giannis was choosing his last spot or whatever, and then he didn't choose Harden because he didn't want a dribbler.
True.
And then
Oh yeah, yeah,
Harden was
yeah.
basically like, yeah, none of them can mess with me.
And then didn't they lose? Didn't Giannis?
Yeah, Team Giannis did lose.
That was a clown move. Well, it'll be an interesting All-Star game for sure.
Hope it's as competitive as last year.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if they're motivated to play. It could be pretty. I feel like a lot of the younger players that are first-time All-Stars will be excited to play, but the players that have been there a million times aren't going to be as
Right.
excited. Another reason why I think Mike Conley would have made a better All-Star than Chris Paul, but hey, that's neither here nor there.
I don't even think Chris Paul should have made it at all. So
Facts.
Well, our last bit, I guess, that we can get into. We're almost I guess we technically are halfway through the season. The NBA released their second half of the season schedule this past week, and I figured this would be a great time to check up on our preseason predictions and kind of go through them, maybe update them if you will, if you want.
Okay.
But yeah, so the three of us, we made predictions for every award and an NBA Finals prediction except Toby because that guy.
I did though.
I don't know
If
why.
you go back to the first episode, you can
I-
literally watch
nope.
it.
Nope.
But it's all good.
All right. Well, let's start Coach of the Year. Justin, you said Doc Rivers or Tyronn Lue.
Mhm.
Toby, you said Eric Spoelstra,
Oof.
and I said Monty Williams.
I think I might be, closest to
Wait, who did you say?
Doc Rivers or Tyronn Lue.
I can low key see Doc Rivers.
First seed in the East, baby. First year on the team, first seed in the East.
Doc Rivers
But-
is a good pick, yes.
Does he deserve it?
Why not?
I mean, if he coaches the MVP, he might deserve it.
the only
That's a
only
good point
coach
though.
that
They do have an MVP.
the only coach that is probably gonna has more probably gonna get more votes, I think, is Quinn Snyder of the Jazz.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
They're off to their best start in franchise history. They're one of the best defensive teams in the league. They have 2 All-Stars. I mean, and their offense is their offense is essentially just as good as their defense, which I don't think a lot of people saw coming. Best record in the NBA. So I feel like at the end of the season, if that's the case, I feel like it'll be Quinn Snyder. But
Did anybody guess it would be Quinn Snyder?
Mm-mm.
no.
I
But
think,
Doc Rivers is close. I think Doc Rivers will be like top 3.
yeah, I think it will be Quinn Snyder too. To agree. I just, I was saying the preseason, I was definitely the closest with my preseason guess.
Okay, is there any possible chance that Eric Spoelstra can turn things around and possibly?
Yeah, I was looking at the standings the other day. You know what? I'll bring them up right now.
I think
The
are 7.
Heat are all the way up to the 7th seed, and the Toronto Raptors and the Knicks are tied for the 4th seed right now at 17 and 17.
Yeah.
I remember at the beginning of the season we were saying Toronto wasn't even making the playoffs. I might have said that.
Okay, yeah. You said
I might have
don't think
said
that.
yeah, but both teams turned things around. Atlanta kind of slipped a little bit. Cleveland definitely slipped. Didn't Cleveland start like 4-0 and then
Oh yeah.
they were like a mid-tier playoff team.
now they're the second worst team?
Another coach, Justin? Tom Thibodeau. He's certainly going to get some praise at the end of the season.
I
But
mean,
did I not tell you he was going to
we're
be
playing nice.
Did
I
not
can't
tell
believe
you?
I can't believe we're tied for the 4th seed, bro.
I
Like
literally
we
said
have
that.
we're better than the Celtics.
I mean, you're still like 17 and 17.
yeah, well, the
We could
Boston
potentially
Celtics
be a
are
top
16
4
and
seed.
17. So
Yeah, true.
And Toby, at the moment, I'll give it to you. The Hornets are above the Pacers right now.
Yes, sir.
they're tied. They're tied.
Oh, okay. But by the end of the year,
It's close.
it's gonna be,
close. It's gonna be
bro.
close.
The Hornets.
Yeah, the East is really close, bro. Literally 4 through 10 are all like a game or two within each other.
Yeah, it's really just the top 3 teams that have like separated themselves. But even those 3,
But still, I think
That's really
there's-
it with the West too. Okay.
I still think there's teams in those lower half, like playoff standings, that can upset.
the Wizards could potentially make a push.
Yeah, the Wizards
I
have
don't-
been doing really well. No, the Wizards have been. They're on like aren't they on like a 4 or 5 game win streak right now?
I think they might have lost once, but they've definitely won like a lot of their last games as of late.
Their last 10, they're 7-3.
Yeah, so
I still don't think they're gonna make it.
'cause I mean, I
I
don't
mean,
know.
you were
I
the
wouldn't-
one
I
who
don't know
was
if I
saying they
put
would,
money on it.
Toby.
I know, but
I wouldn't put money on it, but I wouldn't. I also wouldn't be shocked if they got it like
Yeah.
8th seed.
I
Or
mean,
something.
they're so bad. Besides Westbrook and like Beal.
Yeah, they really are. How's that guy Denny doing? I have no idea.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you, but
I think he's
Rui
just doing
Hachimura. Apparently,
Rui.
he's one of the better defenders he's becoming a really solid defender.
I'm liking what I'm seeing out of him.
Mm.
I was considering giving him like most improved at the beginning of the season, even though I didn't. But I think I'm liking what I'm seeing out of him. I think if he forms an offensive game, he could be like super solid.
Well, let's talk about that then. We can just go around. We can just move around all the awards. Most improved player, the players that we all picked. Justin, you said Lonzo and Jamal Murray. Toby, you said Kobe White and Christian Wood, and I said SGA and Marvin Bagley. So, I mean, Toby, you probably got closest with Christian Wood, but I don't know if they're gonna give it to him because he's injured.
They really should. He deserves it. I don't care. He
He's been
deserves
injured.
it. Has he though?
Yeah, he's been out for like the last couple of games.
That's true. He injured his ankle or something.
And the Rockets have been terrible without him. So
Hey, well,
kinda
hey,
does speak to his impact with that team.
Don't sleep on my boy Lonzo Ball, bro.
But Justin,
Lonzo Ball's been playing pretty well recently. I think in the month of February he averaged over 18 points.
Well, who would y'all say is the front runner to win that?
probably Jeremy Grant.
I would say him or SGA, and then maybe if when Christian Wood comes back, he like plays really, really well. Maybe they could slide it to him, but
I feel like
I
SGA
know.
was like good though last year. Like he had similar.
well,
stats.
Jeremy Grant was good last year.
I know, but statistically wise,
Here, let's look. I don't know what that guy was averaging yet.
that matters.
Justin, you said Jamal. I know he's been kind of inconsistent, and the Nuggets haven't been as good. But the last 9 games for Jamal, he's averaging 30 a game, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and he's shooting 55% from the field, 50% from 3, and 90% from the free throw line.
Jeez. Okay, Jamal.
He basically became bubble Jamal the last like 10 games, but they're not winning, so nobody cares.
Hopefully, he found
Wait,
his
what was I looking up? Oh yeah, SGA stats.
Bro, he needs to
I
be.
mean, I
more
have
weight-
SGA.
You have his stats from
Saw a
last year?
stat earlier this week about him. It said that if the season were to end today, he'd be the 5th player in NBA history, or the 5th third-year player in NBA history to average 25 and 5 and shoot 50% from the field, joining Oscar Robertson, Walt Frazier, Larry Bird, and Chris Webber.
Well,
He also
Frazier.
had a career high 42 points against the Spurs the other day. He's only 22 years old, and he looks to be like a perennial all-star moving forward. So the The Thunder got a nice player in him for sure.
Is he a keeper?
I mean,
I would think he's a
definitely.
keeper. I love SJ.
Yeah. But Jeremy Grant seems like the clear choice.
Yeah.
He pretty much doubled his averages in like every category, and he's played more games than Christian Wood. Even though the Pistons are like one of the worst teams in the league, it's really hard to argue against that. You know,
Yeah,
I don't feel like
I have to
people really
agree.
factor in.
He should have been an all-star.
Yeah. I feel like when it comes to most improved player, a lot of the awards, they don't even really factor in team success other than like MVP, maybe defensive player of the year,
Coach of the year.
coach of the year. Yeah. But some of the awards, they don't, I feel like they probably won't.
Would
care.
you think they give it to the rookie of the year too? Maybe.
Wait,
What
what?
do you mean?
Would they?
I mean, if it was like a
Like-
close race between two players, they might give it to the player with the better record. I don't know, but it's generally just whoever's the best rookie. Straight
Well,
up.
for this year, rookie of the year, I think is pretty obvious.
Yeah. Before the
Gonna
season,
be LaMelo Ball, baby.
you both said LaMelo. I said Obi Toppin.
You were
Tyrese
hating.
I said Tyrese Halliburton. Or
I
Obi.
would say Tyrese Halliburton is second though. I would even have him over Edwards and Wiseman.
Or Edwards?
Yeah, Wiseman. I would have said Wiseman, but he's been out. And then yeah, I'd still give it over Edwards. I think.
I don't know.
coulda-
Yeah, he's
I
top
definitely-
3.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably LaMelo though, because
Yeah.
LaMelo I'm pretty sure he's leading all rookies in points, rebounds, and assists. And the Hornets are a better team than a lot of people expected.
Yeah, and he's starting too. He's getting a lot of minutes.
But just to touch on Halliburton, he's not even starting, despite the fact that he's only started 2 games this season. He's still averaging 13 a game, 3.6 rebounds and 5.4 assists, and he's shooting 44% from 3. So they got to steal.
I want to say something
gotta steal.
about somebody for my New York Knickerbockers here. Emmanuel IQ, I was going to call him. Emmanuel Quickly. He has the most 25-point games out of all the rookies.
Okay.
He's got the most 25-point games, baby.
How many?
I don't know. I couldn't find the stat. I think he's
Probably
got
2.
1 or 2 more than whoever's in second, which I think is LaMelo.
Does he have a 40-point game?
I think he has 4
Yeah,
25-point games. Anthony
No,
Edwards
Tyrese
has
Maxey had a
3.
40-point game.
Melo has 2.
Tyrese Maxey had a 40-point game.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
That was when like everyone on the Sixers was out, I think. With, like,
Oh,
COVID
yeah.
or something, and he was like, there was literally like 7 players. And he just played like.
I mean, still, like,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's still pretty crazy, but I mean, got to provide the context.
the next future bucket getters in the league. I love it.
Yeah.
Maxey and Quickly.
It's kind of exciting to like talk about it because we're gonna be seeing these guys for like the next 10 years, but it's also kind of because like all of our like generation of NBA stars is all getting old and shit.
True.
I think it's funny though that everyone said this draft was going to be bad, and it was just like, I don't know what.
This might be one of the best drafts in a while.
Yeah.
I don't
A
know.
lot of
only
the players are like
but
having
it's
an
definitely
impact
a
on their
lot.
team.
It's a lot better than people give it credit for. Everyone was like, "Oh, there's no stars in this draft," and I'm like, that doesn't mean there can't be.
A lot of the players are impacting their teams though.
Exactly.
Like LaMelo has a big impact. Obi and IQ have a good impact on the Knicks.
Halliburton.
Edwards is basically the whole offense for the Timberwolves except for Cat.
Even like later round picks are getting playing
Yeah.
time too. Like Desmond Bain on the Grizzlies.
That guy
Deke Bay on the
Pritchard
Pistons.
on the
Bay, yeah.
Celtics.
Pritchard,
that guy
yeah.
he gets tons of minutes.
Yeah, Peyton Pritchard. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely been it's a solid draft. I don't know why everyone was looking so down. I think it's probably because this upcoming draft is projected to be a lot better because there's a bunch of players like Cade Cunningham.
Who just dropped 40. 40 piece.
Kaminga, Jalen Green, Evan Mobley. You know, there's like a ton of like players that could be like all-stars. So
Is Cole Anthony injured?
I think so.
Because I don't think I saw him play against the Nets.
Yeah, I think he's injured.
But I got to put a little respect on his name too, because he's a little more of a bucket getter than I thought.
That's what he was at UNC, man. I'm telling you.
I haven't seen nothing about him. I haven't
mean-
watched a second of a Magic game all season.
I don't think he's going to be nothing crazy special, but like I'll give him his respect a little bit.
I
He
gotta.
can get a few buckets.
I gotta touch on my Knicks, or not my Knicks. Wow, my Nuggets. Zeke Naji and RJ Hampton.
I love RJ.
Ooh,
Hampton.
bro, RJ Hampton
pretty
had the
solid.
craziest dunk I've seen in a while.
RJ Hampton he's solid. I like what he's doing. But Zeke Naji, everyone was kind of clowning the Nuggets for taking this guy. He's like a forward essentially from Arizona. I like what he's doing. He's solid. He can shoot a lot better than I think people thought. He can
What is he?
knock down threes.
What is he? Like what position?
It's like a stretch four, basically. But he plays defense. Like that's what his selling point was, really, like energy, defense. And then he's kind of been showing a little bit of offense. So I like it. I don't know what he's gonna do moving forward, but I had to highlight those two. Where to next? Let's go to sixth man of the year.
Yeah.
Since we were talking about Jordan Clarkson earlier, that seems like to be the favorite. But
Yeah.
Justin, you said Montrezl Harrell and Marcus Smart. Toby, you said Karis LeVert, and I said Gallinari and Gary Trent Jr. So Marcus Smart, I'm pretty sure, has started every game he's played for the Celtics. So
Yeah,
that
but he also
really work out.
Has he really?
Yeah, before he
Oh,
got
wow.
hurt. And then Karis
Oh.
LeVert obviously hasn't played in I don't know how long.
Mm-hmm.
And then Gallinari, he's been injured too. Gary Trent Jr. has been a starter for Portland ever since CJ got injured. So really, like the only six man on this list is Harrell, essentially.
he's not gonna get it though.
But he's been pretty good for the Lakers. But yeah, Jordan Clarkson, 32 games off the bench this season. He's averaging a league high 18.3 points per game. He's shooting 45% from the field, 38% from three, and 96% from the free throw line. Yeah, I mean, he's been.
I'm trying to think of somebody else who maybe could be in the discussion.
I mean, these two people that Jorie have on here, the one guy I can understand because I've been seeing him play and he's actually been doing good. But why do you have Josh Jackson on here, Jorie?
Hear me out.
Ooh.
I'll say Chris Boucher first. Toronto.
He's nice. I'll give you that. He might be.
because
He might be.
he might honestly be a more of a candidate for most improved player than six man.
Yeah.
But he went from playing just 13 minutes a game last year to basically becoming the first player off the bench for Toronto. He's averaging 13 a game, shooting 54% from the field, 6 rebounds and 2 blocks. So they had a slow start, but they're turning things around in Toronto. Technically like Tampa, because I don't even think they're in Toronto right now because of COVID in Canada. But yeah. And then I said Josh Jackson because even though, again, the Pistons, if Jeremy Grant wins most improved, I don't think that they're going to give another Pistons an award. I just said this because he was labeled a bust because he was fourth overall pick in 2017, and he never really found his footing in the league. But he's averaging like 14 a game now, and he's come off the bench in pretty much all the games for Detroit. He certainly turned it. I feel like I wanted to highlight him because I feel like he's turning things around.
No, I respect that because I used to like him a lot. I used to watch him on Ball Is Life on YouTube, and I was like, this guy's the #1 player in the country. This guy's sick. Back when he had a giant afro, and then Yeah, he got drafted and he sucked.
He's a dog. I can't.
But yeah, I used to really like him a lot back in the day.
And then he had like a solid rookie season for the Suns, and everyone's like, "Oh, okay, this isn't so bad." And then he just got worse and worse every year, and now he's kind of figuring it out again. So
Yeah.
I had to highlight him. But
What about your guy Bagley? How good is he doing?
Pretty sure he's been injured, right?
I don't know.
uh,
I've seen him. I saw him play against the Nets.
I just know he's one of the worst defenders in the league. That's
I think
pretty much
his
all I know.
stats should be around like this.
Like that guy just doesn't know how to play defense. But yeah, I mean, I couldn't tell you accurately how he's doing. That was a shot in the dark for most improved player. But he's starting all their games.
I mean, I like his game. I do like his game.
Yeah. I mean, he was taken second overall. So, yeah, I obviously saw something out of him. But we can move on to defensive player of the year. Justin, you said Rudy Gobert. Toby, you said Giannis. I said Anthony Davis. I feel like Rudy Gobert is probably the favorite to win it.
See, I would have to disagree.
Why?
Really?
Who do you
I think the favorite should be Miles Turner. He leads the league in blocks with 3.4. Gobert is second at 2.7. He has almost a whole block per game over the guy in second. And the Pacers aren't doing too bad.
Yeah, but the Jazz are the best.
Jazz ain't doing too bad neither.
The Jazz are the best
Yeah,
team
well.
in the league.
Yeah, well,
They also their defense.
Miles Turner is the best shot blocker in the league.
Yeah, but
I think Gobert's the best rebounder.
like shot blocking, honestly, is kind of it's like a important aspect of defense, but I feel like it's just easier to. It doesn't get shown in a box score, but like just being able to contest shots. And
I know what you're trying to say, Jorie.
inefficient at
Yeah,
the
I know what you mean.
it's way more impactful.
I don't know.
Like that guy,
does.
that guy Whiteside. He used to average like so many blocks, but
Nobody would say he's like the DPOY.
yeah, nobody's.
I mean,
considering-
I'm not saying Turner is not worthy. He's certainly going to get some votes. He'll probably make an all defensive team, honestly. But I feel like Gobert, just because they have the best defense in the league, basically, and he's like a large reason for that. It's hard to not give it to him.
Yeah, I agree. Also, I was looking actually at the stats of like other contenders, and Gobert, he has, first of all, he has a higher defensive win shares. He gets a lot more rebounds too. I think Miles Turner only averages like 7 rebounds or something,
Yeah, he's
whereas Gobert is averaging like 12 or something crazy like that.
is first in the league in defensive rebounds, defensive win shares, and he has the best defensive rating in the NBA.
And I think the Jazz are like the second or third best defensive team in the league.
Behind the Lakers, I think.
No,
It's pretty surprising.
Miles
Anthony
Turner.
Davis isn't playing. But hey. Gobert, if he were to win the award, it would be his the third time in his career. And I would tie Dwight Howard for second all time, who also has 3 DPOYs.
Who has most?
Ben Wallace and
Wallace.
Dikembe Mutombo both have 4.
Ben Wallace, man. But
Dikembe
I don't-
Mutombo, though, that guy was a freak. I remember.
You were nice when you had your own commercial.
I remember writing something for, the Nuggets when I was ranking all the Nuggets. I'm pretty sure he averaged I can't remember exactly what it was, but in the playoff series against the Sonics, I think, when they upset the Sonics, he averaged 7 blocks a game or something. He was.
was that the
literally
one you
just-
beat the 1 seed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was literally just, you could not score on him. It was crazy. Yeah, and then Ben Wallace, obviously.
He's one of my favorite players. Just because, the whole Malice at the Palace thing, that was a bad look for him. But
He's
I
just
don't
a
know.
dog.
Yeah, he's just a dog, dude. Like amazing hustle.
I played on the Pistons.
Won a
Yeah, but
championship. Took
he only
down the
averaged
Lakers.
10, but
They should have won a championship when they drafted Melo. They should have drafted Carmelo second overall, and he would have had a ring.
Oh well.
wait. So I have a quick question. If Gobert wins Defensive Player of the Year, do you think then he deserves his contract? If that makes any sense.
Yeah, that's another thing. That's funny you say that because I think when we were making these predictions, we mentioned that Gobert signed that huge extension in the offseason, and we were all just like, there's no way this guy's gonna live up to his contract.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm
Not
not
really.
saying
It's kind
I'm
of
not saying he's got to be the highest paid center in the league, but like he's definitely turning some heads. I mean, he already did. He's already
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The guy's already been in it 2 other times. Obviously, that guy's capable of getting it a third time.
But
I don't think if he didn't get it, he wouldn't be living up to his contract.
I think
I just think they paid him way too much to begin with.
he can still improve though offensively. I feel like everyone's saying because with the Jazz, everyone's like, are they for real? Are they pretenders? Everyone's gonna put a lot of pressure on Donovan Mitchell to perform in the playoffs. But we've seen Donovan Mitchell, despite the fact that it was against, the Nuggets and their defense was terrible last year, he was still averaging like 40 a game for the Jazz. Like, what more can you do? You need someone else to step up, and I feel like that's got to be Gobert.
True, but
But he
isn't this
doesn't. He doesn't have an offensive game.
That's what I'm saying. He needs to like
You
be
can't
more
just-
than a lob threat and like a pick and roller. Like you got
But
to.
when you're as old as he is, it's not
think-
like you could just pick up
he's not old.
No,
He's like,
I think if he can, I think one thing that he needs to add to his offensive game is the ability to like pass out of the post, pass. Just if he could, that would change a
I know
lot.
what you mean.
That would really change a lot.
that's fair.
Because that's what the Knicks do. The Knicks, like, we play through Randall out of the post. Like, we'll have him post up, not
That
like too
changes
deep.
a lot of things.
We'll have him post up, somewhere in the mid range, and then somebody will pass and go, and he'll get them on their cut. And it's beautiful basketball, baby.
Yeah, just it would make the offense flow even better than
Yeah.
it does right now. And he has like shooters everywhere. It's not like it would be hard to like get the ball to they're like literally the best 3-point shooting team in the league. Like he's got space to operate, so he doesn't need to become like Hakeem Olajuwon, but he needs to like be able to do something.
Who is the GM of the Utah Jazz?
Damn.
Got no
I'll
idea.
look it up. I don't know.
That guy is nice.
For a small market team, like
Yeah.
I guess you have to pay Gobert that much. But I
I don't think that
gotta
guy would have left anyway. That guy could have paid him $20 million less. I don't think Gobert still would have left.
I don't know, because who really wants to play in Utah? No offense.
Exactly. No, you're completely right.
Justin Zanuck.
Justin Zanuck,
Who was that?
The
the
Jazz.
GM for the
Oh, duh.
he's
I guess
another
he was
Justin.
promoted in 2019.
Okay, yeah,
So
yeah.
he was an assistant for them for like 3 years, and then he got the job, I guess, like last year essentially, or last season, whenever.
Okay, guy.
Yeah, he's made some really nice signings, like in terms of like different pieces for that team.
Jordan
Got it.
Clarkson,
Rest.
Ingles, Bogdanovich.
Where did Clarkson play before this?
He was on the Cavs, I think, for a while. LeBron was there, and then obviously he played on the Lakers for a little bit. I feel like he was on one more team, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think he was. I don't know though.
Remember. But yeah, he's definitely built that team up.
Royce O'Neal too. That guy's a shooter.
Yeah, exactly. They can. Well, let's actually keep moving, and then we can talk about the Jazz some more. And get to our NBA Finals predictions, but last award, MVP. Justin, you said Joel Embiid, which is looking pretty good right now.
Mhm.
Toby and I both said Luca, but Toby, you also said Kyrie Irving.
I
feel
said
like
that
was
as a
more-
dark horse. I'll explain that later,
But I
Stinky
mean,
pick.
Justin, you said Embiid. It's kind of hard to argue with Embiid and his production this season, the team success this season. He's averaging nearly 30 points a game, 11 rebounds, 3 assists, shooting 40% from 3. His competitors, his like biggest competitors, LeBron, the Lakers are sliding without Anthony Davis. That doesn't look good for LeBron. And then Jokic and the Nuggets, they're not playing up to par. Luca, the Mavericks are not even in the playoffs at the moment, I don't think.
But they've been. I
Curry,
want to talk about that.
Curry,
They've been playing a lot better.
they have.
Mavericks.
Yeah, I think if Luca can get these guys, I think if Luca can get Dallas to like the 4 or 5 seed, I think you could. I think you might be able to slide him the MVP over Embiid, but it's not happening. Embiid is getting it, baby.
I would still give it to Embiid.
I knew. I just knew. As much as I hate to say it, because he plays for Philly, and Jay Brown's gonna be clowning me for it. He's the MVP.
I think he would be the first Sixers MVP since AI.
Either.
I can't think of any other Sixers. I might not be correct, but seems.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I don't have the Knicks ever had an MVP on their team?
Did that guy Frazier ever win one?
I don't think so.
Ewing?
Nope.
Nah.
Wow. Wow.
Neither have the Nuggets.
Really?
Who would have won an NBA? Well, I guess if you count the ABA, I remember researching that. I think Spencer.
Who won it for them?
Spencer Haywood. I think won an MVP award with the Nuggets in the ABA. But that's, I don't know if you really count that.
I don't think any Nets players have ever won it.
KD could. Well, I feel like if KD played more this season, he probably could have.
Actually, I don't know if Dr. J ever won for the Nets. But whenever I get a chance, I need to explain that Kyrie Irving pick.
All right, well, explain it right now.
No.
Okay.
I don't want to hear it.
You kind of explained it.
Justin.
You kind of explained it.
But in the first
Talk
episode,
about Kyrie, but go ahead.
In the first episode, I was trying to choose somebody who I thought was going to win and somebody who had like a low shot of winning, but still could be in it. So basically, I was thinking Kyrie Irving because if KD comes back and he wasn't the same KD and he was maybe in like the second role, then Kyrie could easily average 30 points a game on 7 or 8 assists. And being a top team in the East, I think that would have put him as a contender. But obviously, we see what the Nets got Harden. Kyrie was out a lot of the games, so there you go.
Yeah, I think getting Harden probably was what screwed him. I feel like it was like a pretty reasonable pick. I feel like.
Well, it wasn't going to happen regardless if the Nets didn't get Harden because KD came back and showed the world that he's KD and he's the number one option on the team.
Do you think if the Nets win the season, actually, let's just keep going. Let's talk about NBA Finals predictions because that was the last thing we talked about. So, Justin, you said Lakers over Nets. Toby, literally, we can look at the footage. You did not give a prediction. I don't know why. And then I said Lakers over Bucks. But at the moment, Lakers in the finals does not look as concrete as it did at the beginning of the season. They're kind of struggling a little bit, especially without AD. But do you think if the Nets win this year, we really need to put some respect on KD's name? Because that would mean he's outperformed LeBron 3 times essentially in his, era. But for whatever reason, nobody would ever say Kevin Durant is better than LeBron.
If
Like, do you really like? Has there really never been a point when he was better than LeBron? Because everyone says, "Oh, LeBron's always been the best player in the league," but like Kevin Durant literally beat LeBron twice in the finals.
But
What else does he have to
but
do?
like over the whole season, LeBron was still the better player.
Yeah, but like that same argument. I don't want to take away from LeBron, but I'm just like,
Yeah,
I'm just
but
saying,
I just can't. I can't give KD his respect. I can't
Okay,
do it.
can I say
if the
something,
Nets
please?
win
The
this
guy.
season,
I mean, all right. LeBron made a super team in Miami, I guess, maybe. But Kevin Durant going to the Warriors and then forming this Nets team, how are you going to sit here and say that this
Okay,
guy isn't scheming
Can I
and making these
please
super teams left and right?
can I please respond to that?
Yeah, I
Because
want to hear it. I
This
want
is
to hear
something
it.
that's been bothering me. Okay, so when the Nets got James Harden, the whole thing was, oh, there's only one ball. There's no way they're gonna make the finals. The rest of their team sucks. They have no defense. Okay, when the Nets play the Lakers in the finals, I do not want to hear the Nets have a super team. It's unfair. Okay,
You
Because-
won't have to hear it. The Lakers are better.
they're not though, and the Nets are gonna beat the Lakers in the finals, and everybody's gonna be pissed because they're gonna say the Nets have 3 superstars. It's a super team. Even though
why don't you want to hear that if it's true?
because all season long, the only thing I hear is hate that the Nets.
Yeah, because we know you're good. We're just hating because what do you want us to say? Like, oh yeah, the Nets are gonna win it all. Oh, the super team's gonna win it. We're gonna say no, you're trash. And every time you lose, we're gonna expose everything we can out of the game.
Yeah, that's true. That's what comes with being a good team, I guess.
That's exactly what happened to the Warriors. And I mean, we still do it to the Warriors, kind of. But
The Warriors. But anyways, you have to put respect on KD's name if he wins. You have to.
if he had won in OKC and then still like left and went to Warriors and then came to the Nets, I would have been like, we know he can do it. Like with I don't know how you want to say it, like just like a homegrown team. Like, like he got drafted to OKC. The whole team that he was playing with was similar to what he was playing with when he got drafted, and then they kept all the guys that like Russ and Harden, but then everybody left and then it sucked, and then he went to 2 super teams, so you can't give him any
he didn't.
respect.
But he didn't go to the Nets as a super team.
He went with Kyrie Irving. Him and Kyrie were
Okay.
scheming since the All-Star break last year, like, ooh, which team you going to?
So you think those two
I
automatically?
feel like there is a difference, though. There is a difference because the Warriors, I feel like going to the Warriors was worse than going to the Nets, because the Warriors were a team that were years into their, playoff run. They had obviously won 73 games the season prior. Like, they were a team that was constructed already. The Nets is different because he was part of forming that super team. Like, the team that the Warriors had was essentially already a super team. Like, you might not look at it as it that way, but they literally had 3 All-Stars already, and they had the best record of all time. The Nets, they were just throwing in a star in Kevin Durant and into a team, and just like, all right, we'll figure it out on the go.
Still figuring it out.
So what are you saying is worse, Jorie? What he did now with the Nets or what he did with the Warriors?
Definitely the Warriors. Definitely the Warriors.
I mean,
I feel like the Nets now is not as bad as, like,
I
don't know. I just feel like it's weird that we kind of give LeBron a pass for whenever he teams up with someone like Anthony Davis,
thank you,
Dwayne Wade.
Okay, well,
Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love.
Listen.
When anyone else does it, it's a problem. I don't get
listen,
that.
I'm not even like a LeBron like fanboy. Like I could care less about the guy, but Miami was a little sus. It's a little super team action going on over there, maybe. With the Cavs, maybe okay. You know what? Maybe this guy LeBron might be up to something. But No, it's different because when he went to the Cavs, Kyrie was still only like 23 or 24. Like he was still learning how to be a player.
I don't know. It's just,
The Kevin Love for Andrew Wiggins trade was still just a good trade anyway for any team, even if LeBron wasn't there. Like they still would have had a number 1 overall pick even without Kevin Love. And like I don't know. And then the Lakers are just he completely flipped that team around. So I don't know. Like that team's just different.
yeah. No, it's I don't know. So who are your
Okay.
finals predictions now? Or if you were to choose,
Same thing.
Lakers
Nets.
over Nets,
Yes, sir.
Kobe.
I'm not picking the Lakers.
It's hard to pick the Lakers, dude. I
Actually-
really feel like it's not gonna be what we think it is. I really don't think
I agree.
one of those teams that we think is gonna be there is gonna be there.
One of them is.
I just
All right, I'll just give my prediction straight out. It's gonna be Lakers versus Clippers. Nets versus Clippers. Nets in 6. Even if the Lakers have AD, it's still gonna be the Clippers.
I don't know if I trust the Clippers.
I
Why not?
Still don't.
no faith. I mean, the Jazz are for real. The Jazz are for real. I hate to say it, but the team is solid. Like
They are.
I've never seen like such a perfectly constructed team. They got a guy for everything. They're perfect. They're perfect. It's a perfect team.
And they match up against everyone else like so well.
The one thing that they're lacking is like that one superstar. I guess Donovan Mitchell is on his way there, but
That's the thing. That's why everyone's saying it's going to be incumbent on him to lead them to the promised land.
I
I
mean,
like
that
Shaq
guy
said.
Shaq. Yeah, I was just going to say Shaq might have been right. Shaq might have pushed him
Crazy.
over the edge.
That would be crazy. If they get to the finals, man,
That would be crazy, but I would hate to play against them as
the
a Nets
NBA
fan.
would hate that. I feel like the NBA needs a marquee matchup that everyone wants to watch. So I feel like
I mean, the Jazz
it's gonna be
are
something like
historically they're a
no,
good
but
team.
yeah, but the NBA looking at Los Angeles versus Brooklyn,
I know
really
what you
telling
mean.
me that they're gonna try and get. That's what happens, man. Like that's literally what happens. You could look back at the history of the NBA. There's teams that probably should have been in the finals that didn't get there because the NBA had
Lakers versus Kings.
some,
Wasn't that 2001 Lakers versus Kings?
Lakers, Kings. I think the Bucks,
Game 7 or Game 6.
Bucks, Sixers, in like 2001. I think the Eastern Conference Finals. Like the Bucks were clearly a
LeBron
better
versus the
team,
Warriors.
but they were like, we can't not have Allen Iverson in the finals against Kobe.
But do you remember when LeBron was in the finals against the Warriors and Draymond Green was suspended for some BS and that allowed LeBron to win? Because I remember that.
I mean, you remember when
LeBron did
Draymond Green has a history of being thrown out of the games because the guy can't keep his mouth shut?
Yeah.
When literally year before that, LeBron lost his entire starting lineup and was playing with Matthew Dellavedova against the Warriors.
Yeah, that's true.
And the
That's
NBA probably has sympathy for LeBron.
But do you remember when LeBron was playing against the Mavericks in the 2011
Oh
finals?
my God.
And he was getting clamped up by JJ Barea?
JJ Barea. Right.
No, I'm just trolling.
Well, speaking of the Lakers, they're up 73-44 against the Warriors currently
Damn.
at halftime.
Jesus.
73
I think they got Schroeder back.
Yeah, they did.
I think they could, if AD's there, if they're fully healthy, I can definitely see them getting to the finals. I just think LeBron's going to turn it on in the playoffs like always. But they have to be healthy. Like they have to be fully healthy. I think that's why they're taking so much care with Anthony Davis because they saw what happened with Durant, where it's like we really don't want to mess up. Because literally,
Yeah,
if
but
they put him out
they're
there too
also-
early, he could have, he could be out for a year. And that would screw up everything.
They're also putting a lot more miles on LeBron though too. That guy
Yeah.
They might be running that guy into the ground at
Especially,
this point.
I feel like we
Coming off a
say
short
that, but
offseason.
it's LeBron and like literally,
Yeah, but at a certain time,
I don't know, man. I
LeBron-
really
Father
don't know.
Time is
You
gonna
say
catch up
that.
to him.
Like
Like,
everyone says that, and then LeBron's like, "I'm literally fine." Everyone's like, "I'm gonna
Nah,
trust
this
the
year's
guy
different.
in his body more than
no, but
anyone else."
like you don't understand like how like one off season,
He's
not
literally
even one off season, just like one injury to this guy who's 36, almost 37 years old. One injury to this guy could be he might not even be able to like walk again if he hurts his leg bad enough.
I think this year's different because he said so himself. Like he wanted the All-Star break just to rest his body for the weekend because
I mean, wouldn't you?
well, it hasn't been like that.
Even if it's like a few days.
Okay, but it hasn't been like that any other season. Like this
Yeah.
is his first season where
He had
he's
the
like,
shortened off season, and he's also playing in the All-Star break, which he didn't want. And now they don't have AD, and he's getting like over 40 minutes a game now. They're running
why
this guy into the ground.
That's why I think the Nets might have an advantage if those two teams met in the finals, because literally Kevin Durant has been coasting throughout this whole season. I mean, they all have all their start. Like they've played like I don't even know how many games together. Like probably less than 10. Like
yeah.
Harden, Kyrie, and Durant.
That's gonna be terrible. It's gonna be so bad.
And that's also those two not playing in the bubble, Durant and Irving. Harden, I mean, he played in the bubble, but second round out. So
But the Nets are already going on like crazy winning streaks, like 7-game winning streaks without KD. And just put him back in the lineup, is that going to make the team worse? Absolutely
hate
not.
your team. I hate your Nets. I hate the Nets.
I love it. I love it. There's so many buckets. It's just
Not even so many. Like two. You have two.
okay, but we average like 130 a game. So
So it was like half the league, bozo.
I don't think so.
Outside of those three clowns that you got on that team, those
It's
three.
a nice squad. It's a nice squad.
Not even. You have Joe Harris. You have Joe Harris.
Best 3-point shooter in the league.
Okay, that's the one bucket you got. The one even like valuable player on the court.
Okay, we have Bruce Brown. Are you serious?
That guy's doing nothing.
Jeff
I
Green.
like Bruce Brown.
Jeff Green's nice. I'll give you Jeff Green. He's a nice.
Shamit.
He sucks. I hate that guy.
And we have Dinwiddie too. He might come back. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot that guy even existed.
I wish. He
Oh
was-
my god. Wait, is he gonna be back for the playoffs?
That's what they're saying. There's a good chance.
He tears ACL. I really doubt
Partially torn.
I really doubt it though. Doubt they'll bring him back.
But it was like the beginning of the season. Like that's so much time.
They don't need him. They don't need him.
He's better option than Cheese. I'll give you that. Chioza nice though. I love Chioza.
Oh my gosh. All right, is that everything, guys? Is that all? Anything?
I think if I had to make another prediction though for the finals, if it wasn't going to be Lakers Nets, I think it has to be Jazz Sixers. That might be a nice little finals.
Jazz Sixers. That'll be
I
on
think
some
that's-
like
I feel like that's probably what it's the most deserving, but it's probably not going to happen.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be Lakers Nets. The league is going to Adam Silver's going to pull some.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
no,
saying.
bro. You can't just say
It's
it's
all about the
rigged.
all about the
It is
brand.
rigged though, Toby. Every professional sports game is rigged. Almost every
No.
sports game is rigged.
Otherwise, they wouldn't have let the Tampa Bay Rays in the World Series. They would have put the Yankees there. Yankees Dodgers. But I digress.
Tampa Bay has been in like every championship game in like all of professional sports.
It makes no
They're
sense.
running sports right now. All right. Well, this was a fun episode. We'll see if our predictions for the second half of the season come true.
You know, this episode we might have had like the most like back and forth argument in between each other like the whole time. Usually we agree with each other a lot, but this episode we had a lot of going back and forth.
True.
A lot of opinions flowing.
Yeah, but Everybody in the comments, definitely comment who had the better team, Team LeBron or Team Trash.
I definitely have a better team.
Nah,
Oh my god.
No doubt.
no sir.
All right. Yep. All right. Well, this was a good one. Until next time.
Sir.
See you
Yeah, baby.
on episode number 12. From myself, Jorie Mickens, and my two co-hosts, Justin Sadovi and Chris Tobias, thank you so much for listening to that episode of the Fullcourt Report NBA show. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at FullCReport, on Instagram at the.fullcourt.report. Like and comment on this video and subscribe so you never miss a minute of action.